It's a hard one, this. It's a hard one. I remember months and months and months ago doing a review on one of my favourite sci-fi, western, futuristic films from the early 70s. That being Westworld. That's right, Westworld. Now, I do know over the years they made a TV series and they made a remake TV series, and they would even talk about doing a remake, believe it or not, with Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Dunstring, or who Low Bennon was playing. You would have Sylvester Stallone, and you were going to have Bruce Willis. Sad to say that never came to be. I know people say it never came to be. I know. I don't like remakes. I admitted I don't like remakes. I think remakes are fucking garbage. I say it again. I think remakes are fucking shit. Right? But on the other hand, I was kind of interested in them, even though it was not Westworld really wasn't an action film. It would have been interesting to see that. But it never came to be. However, when it came into, let's say, the mid-70s, 75, 1976, they decided to do a sequel. And it's a mixed one, this. Should it be a rant or should it be a review? Should it be a rant? Should it be a review? Because this one, it's hit and miss. I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to jeff. I'm not going to do any of that because, it's history. It's an old film. It was forgotten with. And I can see why it was forgotten with. Unlike Westworld, right? Unlike Westworld, you had well-known actors, you had Low Bennon, you had James Bolden. In this, why not? I love doing it. Pieces of wood. You have pieces of wood. Right, let's get on with the figgy story. It's a story in this film. You get the idea. It's a couple of days later, and Delta, the oddities to sort, decides to do away with Westworld and make a new world. Now, I first thought, no, don't get rid of Westworld. But I had an idea, it's Futureworld. I mean, I'm normally a sucker for films. That's why I'm giving this film leeway. I'm a sucker of films, let's say, for the 1970s, what are based on the future. I can name films from the 60s. 2000 Space Odyssey. The original Westworld. Let me think. I remember doing one months and months ago. Logan's Run. Films like that, I love. I love films like that. Futuristic, down and dirty. We know it never happened. That's what makes it. To me, I love films like that. So I thought, okay, this is an interesting idea. And there are some dud bits in the film. So I'll get on with the dud bits and the bits where it's an half and half. It's a hit and miss. Should it be a rant? Should it be a review? Right. The bits I like is the idea it's in the future. There's a bit where people got their sunglasses on and they're on a fun ride. They go, yay! There's a bit where you got one actor in it and you're thinking, I've seen him before. If you remember The Running Man, and there's a bit where the girl's running and she finds all them burnt up dead bodies and she says that line, They was last month's winners. And the bad guy, that Botox, says, no. Last season's users. Never season. Well, the guy says that last season's users. He just appeared in the film, but again, it's if you keep your eyes open, right? So I kind of like that. I like the bit where you've got them skiing and it's in snow and it's all red, and the guy says the only difference is the snow is red. So the idea that it's like normal snow. It freezes your bloody hand. You can make snowball fights and make a snowman. And you can go skiing. And I like to see where they're skiing along and it's in red snow. I like that bit, right? I like the bit where the girl is making fertility test. Kind of reminds me a bit of Star Wars. Remember Star Wars with the backer? And I think it was R2-D2. I can't remember now. It was playing with him. And and then Phoebe says, next time, let the rookie win. Well, there's a bit like that with the paying test. You've got fertility people and they get killed and they die for real. They look like they die, you know what I mean? Reminds me of a test game I had on my PC, without boring you anyway. So I thought I liked them bits in the film. Then the rest of the film just bored me. It bored me. Because you've got two leads, right? You've got two leads. There's a bit where they're showing bits from the original Westworld. It's out date, Memory Figging Lane. I don't know what's that. But you've got one guy in it, and you think you've seen him before. Think of the movie Easy Rider. There's a film called Easy Rider. And the film is so 70s. It starts off where you see him and he looks like he's naked. And you've got this really annoying 70s drama, overbearing music. Do, 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 do. You got his eye for half an hour. I'm thinking, this is director kinky on eyeballs. It's definitely not the same director that's doing the original. And typically my favourite one, that being Runaway, with Tom Selleck, it's definitely not like that. So you can definitely tell it's a different director. And I don't see where they were going at. It was like, who's the bad guys and who are the good guys? Because they're investigating, right, what's happened to Delta and right, went wandering, you know, the original one, Memory Lane. So you've got him out of Easy Rider. I'm having half of the actor, right? I don't hate the actor, but I'm having half. I seen him in Easy Rider. Yeah, he was okay, right? He was okay. That bit's he just did a good performance, but there's bits, why not? Piece of blood in wood. You got the dirt in it. Who's with him? You get the idea they're a love interest. She's pretty to look at. Right? I do remember it in a comedy film when she played Robert De Niro's wife. Remember the comedy called Meet the Fockers? Didn't swear. Called Meet the Fockers. She played Robert De Niro's wife. She's long in this, and she's very. I admit when she was long, she was very attractive. She's pretty to look at. She's pretty to look at. But then there's bits in the film again where her acting's a bit. Piece of blood in wood. So you've got two wooden leads. When you've got two wooden leads in the film, it doesn't save it. It doesn't. Unlike the two actors in the original one, you know, so I say it. Dave Bolden and the other guy. Yeah, the other guy was wooden, and there's bits where Dave Bolden was the lead. But I like them characters. I like the fact that it's in the Wild West and they're shooting cowboys and there were robots. You know, it inspired a lot of films like Westworld, see, it's messed my brain up. It inspired movies, let's say, like The Exterminator, another sci-fi film. This, nothing to it. Because the story just over drags. You got one guy, I like the guy in it. You got one of them personality robot things, you know, a bit like the robot when the mask comes off. So you get to see that. I do like that little touch. But then you've got the villains, right? And they're trying to make replicas of our two wooden leads. They're a bit really on that off a taff, like what's in the original one. And some guy says, have you ever fit with a robot? And the girl's like pretty to look at. I'll just say the pretty girl. She says, maybe in my next vacation. It's kind of a love letter to the original, because the original scene where Di was humping a female robot, that originally was cut out originally. But, you know, I've got the uncut one of Westworld. But it's kind of a love letter there, and then it's like, was it really needed? So you've got our two leads, which to me are just wooden. To cut the story short, you've got one guy, you've got the idea he's a villain. You have two replica robots made to look like our leads. You don't know who gets killed in it, and they're in a shopping centre, right? They're in a shopping centre. They walk off, you think they're the robots, but they're not because you've seen them get killed. But you don't know that. And the film thinks he's got the better. The look, the smile, he looks really pissed off because he gets the idea that they're not the robots, they're the actual main characters. End of movie. End of movie, but it's not end of my patience because it's like I said, there's bits I like in it. I like the bit where they're stealing along and it's in the red snow. I like the bits where not only are they stealing along in red snow, I like the bits where the test James scenes and the bits on the first reality James. I just wish there was more of that. More where they're in the future world. And this one is more like Roman world. I think it's Roman world. It's like a night world. I just wish there was more of that when it's in night world, they're in the future world. You know, more like that. Because the rest of the film just didn't interest me. I didn't give a shit whether the leads got killed, which isn't dud in any film, because they were wooden. I didn't give a shit who was the good guys, who were the bad guys. The story just didn't engage me and interest me like the original one. So to me, I'm being generous because there are bits I like in it. An average rating. I don't hate the film, that's why I'm not swearing. But if I want to see a good sci-fi film, I'll just stick to the original. Until then, I'll see you later.